Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Tonight we're going to play The Legend of Zelda by Nintendo, released in 1986 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, The Legend of Zelda is a worldwide success. It is a series that is played by all, that it just blew up, I think, further than Nintendo ever realized it was going to. Created by two gentlemen, Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, they both created titles for Nintendo long before Zelda, but they created things such as Mario, Yoshi, Mario Kart. They've been creating and continue to this day create some of the biggest titles the world has ever known for Nintendo. And it's because of these two gentlemen that we have The Legend of Zelda. Now, The Legend of Zelda has grown so much larger than the very first game. When they released this game, they didn't expect it to blow up as much as they did. It has brought up over 20 different titles, sequels to the original game, as well as remakes, remasters, special editions, collector's editions. But over 20 titles since the initial release have been released. Not only has its presence been felt in such a large gaming community, but it's also affected the media. It's created toys, breakfast cereals, music orchestra performances, television shows. It has touched all facets of the media. Originally created, again, by Miyamoto and Tezuka, based off the influences of Shigeru Miyamoto's childhood. Growing up in the small village near Kyoto, he used to explore the village, the forests, the rivers, all the area around him. He loved to explore, and he just felt that adventuring and exploring was something that everyone needed to experience. So he felt that he needed to create a game that was different, not as linear as Mario, that gave that sense of exploration, that sense of adventure. So what they were able to do is they were able to create Zelda. They were able to create a title unlike any other. They used the inspiration from Kyoto. He modeled the puzzles, the dungeons, and the mazes, all from his childhood home, using inspiration from his life growing up. The story and script were actually written by Tezuka because he was such a fantasy novel fan that he had inspiration from J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. Originally released in February of 1986 in Japan, it was released for the Family Computer Network System, also known as the Famicom, which used a floppy disk medium. It was actually called the Hyrule Fantasy Zelda no Densetsu, Legend of Zelda. Shortly thereafter, in August of 1987, they re-released it in the U.S. in cartridge form, gold, because the disc, for the Famicom was yellow, so they wanted to give it some pizzazz for the cartridge and really try to sell it in the U.S. because they didn't think the U.S. was actually going to get it. The game was created, and they just didn't think, because of the difficulty, because of how hard it was, that the U.S. was even going to be able to accept this new way of playing, the challenge, the difficulties. They actually created a hotline for players in the U.S. to call to get tips and tricks to beat the game. And they got so many calls, they actually turned it into a paid 900 number. That way they could get, paid for it because they were getting so many. This game is the very first title to feature a second quest. It had an internal battery. Very first cartridge, in video game history to incorporate a battery into the cartridge to provide extra memory and a save state. Because of the way they designed this cartridge, there was so much free space on the cartridge, because what they did is they arranged things like the dungeon and the world in a way so that it fit like a puzzle. It actually only used half of the memory of the cartridge. They were actually worried about putting the game out. They were like, oh my God, we're putting out half a game. So the developers, the designers of the game, actually decided what they can do is they can give us a bigger experience. They can give us a larger experience by taking this data, and they can copy it, duplicate it over, fill that rest of that space. But what they're going to do is they're going to modify it a little bit. They're going to up the difficulty, and they're going to create a second quest. And what's interesting is in the first quest, the dungeons are shaped like a dragon, an eagle, stuff like that. But in the second quest, they actually spell out the name Zelda, which is interesting. And we're going to touch on that in a little bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dive into The Legend of Zelda, what started it all. The game that they didn't think was going to go anywhere, wasn't going to blow up the way it did, but it influenced video games for the rest of time. So let's get into it and let's play The Legend of Zelda. Many years ago, Prince Darkness Ganon stole one of the Triforce with power. Princess Zelda had one of the Triforce with wisdom. She divided it into 8 units to hide it from Ganon before she was captured. We need to find those 8 units. Link to save her. Now obviously you can see there's some translation issues that was put in from the Japanese to American version. Spellings and such. But they did their best, and you get the point. We gotta save the day. So we're going to dive in, and we're going to reassemble that Triforce, defeat Ganon, save the princess, save Hyrule. Pretty great adventure story. A lot of, as you can see, the inspiration for a lot of fantasy adventures are, you have your hero, you have your villain, you have your quest. But this, unlike all other games and other things, is an adventure that we can play how we want. Now, when we start the game, we have to register our name. We have to create our character. It's going to, because of that save state, it's going to save our progress for us as we play. We're going to be able to return to it. First game to do that. First game to give us that option of where we can play through and we don't have to restart. Mario, you had to restart if once you died. If you shut the game off, guess what? You're at the beginning. Zelda changed games forever. So we're going to register this game now because this is Legend of Zelda, and Legend of Zelda, we have that hero, the link between the game and the player, bringing us into Hyrule. So I always have to name my character Link. Now I was talking about earlier how we have the second quest. So a fun fact is with the second quest is you have 2 ways of getting to the second quest. Is you can beat the first quest. Once you complete the story, it's going to unlock that second quest. And you would actually come back to this menu and you see Link holding a sword. And then that's how you can tell you're on the second quest. Another way is if you actually were to go in, register another name, and put in the name Zelda, it's going to unlock that second quest for you. Now, we're not going to play that second quest right now, but I'm just showing you. There he is. Link holding the sword, so you know that that's the second quest. So here we go. Let's hop in. And we're going to go through, we're going to play the game. I'm going to show you some tricks, some tips, some ways of really getting through this game the best way you possibly can, but also get all those little secrets to really give you that extra advantage. Now, when we start the game, as you can see, Link, unarmed, has nothing in inventory, nothing in hand. The original design of the game actually had Link with the sword in his hand. But the problem was, so many players in Japan testing had no idea what to do with it. They were like, okay, what do we do? They're always in linear games, go from left to right. They didn't know what to do. They put so many complaints into Miyamoto that he got upset. He was like, okay, I created this thing you need to figure out. So he actually removed, as punishment, the sword from Link's hand and said to players, you need to go to this cave, talk to the old man. He's going to tell you what to do. And as you know, it's dangerous to go alone, so we need to take this sword. Once we have the sword, it kicks off the adventure. Now it's on us to figure out what we want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go through and we're going to kind of go around this overworld and we're going to collect some things, get ourselves a little bit amped up before we even go towards any dungeons. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to take out these Octoroks. They're pretty easy, but they can catch you off guard, so you got to be mindful. You are holding a shield. You can block their rocks, as well as you can sometimes dodge them. So if it comes at you, don't worry too much about it. The great thing is they're going to drop hearts, they're going to drop coins. Rubies. We're going to try to get as many rupees as we possibly can. We want to up our level of money because that's going to start unlocking things for us because we're going to be able to buy what we need. But we're going to take you on an adventure. We're going to go and we're going to get these. Now, when you come in here, they're going to spawn the enemy right up on you. So what you want to do is you want to either go kind of hook it left or right. and prevent yourself from getting hit. Because if you go straight in, you're going to get probably bombed. Same thing here. If you go left and right, it kind of gives you a little bit dodge. As you can see, I got hit, but it's okay because we're hoping this guy will give us a bomb. If he doesn't, that's fine. Take that heart, come up here, and we're going to go on a little trip. Now, that bridge right there actually takes us to World 1, but we're not going to go there just yet because we want to kind of up our character a little bit before we go into any of the dungeons. We want to make sure we have the best chance of success. Now, in this area, these blue guys, they're going to hit you hard, as you can see. It takes quite a few hits. Avoid them if you can. Usually, you can spawn them and then kind of go down here, kind of come up, and walk right across. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a few items, and we're going to get some money. So we're going to kill these guys here. Hook a quick turn. Now watch out for these moblins. Oh, I'm taking hits. It's alright. And we're going to get a little secret stash. Nice quick 30 coins, and we're going to go right back up. Now it's okay if we die, it will just bring us back to the beginning. So I'm not too worried about if we take another hit. But we're going to try to get what we can before we get that other hit. Alright, so we're going to cut over here, and we're going to take this first ladder up here. Alright, this ladder is going to bring us up to a little cave entrance. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk to this old man in here. He's going to give us this letter. This letter is going to make it so that we can, in the future, talk to a woman and get the ability to buy potions. So it's really important you grab that first before going anywhere else. Try to take these guys out with getting hit, and we're going to come over right. We're going to come over here. We're going to avoid that. Now, what we're going to do is there's going to be a secret here. We're going to try to avoid these guys, and we're going to actually go up here. Now, if you look, you can see the 3 trees at the bottom. Line yourself up with that middle one, and then press up on it, and it's going to find this little secret. In here, we're going to get another big secret. So that's going to load us up with some coins. Now, what I'm going to do is to get us back to the beginning, is I'm going to go down the next path, and I'm actually going to get hit. And what's going to happen is it's going to kick us to the menu. Now, unlike most games, when you die, that's it. You game over, you can't play anymore. Nintendo, because of that save state, gave us the ability to continue, pick right back up where we are, and go on with our game. We also have the option of saving. So if we save it, it will just be the end of the game. Save it, and we'll go back to the menu. But retry, what's interesting is retry will kick you back to the main menu before you last save. So if you just started the game, and you haven't actually saved yet, it's going to wipe everything away, and you're going to retry. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue. And it's going to start us right back where we began, but as you can see, we still have what we got. But now we have a bunch of money. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here. We're going to take these guys out. And we're going to hook a left, and there's going to be a cave up here. Now, this cave is important because in here, it's going to give us some options. It's going to give us a large shield, a key, and a candle. Do not buy the shield. Do not buy the key. Part of the reason is you can find it cheaper, but also we're not going to need them. The only thing we really do want is this blue candle. Now, once we have this blue candle, the blue candle, how it works is if you fire it, it can only be used once. So if we fire it here, I can no longer, as I hit the button, it's not going to come out. But that's okay, because every time you leave the screen, and if you come back in, you can fire it again. Alright, so if you need to, redo it, or you missed for whatever reason, just go ahead and move your screen, and then come back. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and see this bush right here? This bottom right bush of the 4 up here? We're going to come down here, we're going to light that bush on fire. That's going to open up a path. In here, there's the old woman. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out the little note, and we're going to present it. Boom. Now it opens up the option to buy medicine potions. Blue potion fills you up once, one-time use, that's it. Red gives you 2 refills. So it's always good to get the red, but we're not going to buy a potion now. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you buy a potion now, you're not going to be able to unlock all the other things we want to do just right away. But also, on top of that, you really don't need it unless you want to get like a blue potion to give you a little boost. But right now, we don't need it. So don't worry about it. Right now, we're going to unlock as many secrets as we can. So we're going to come up here. You don't want to burn any bushes here. This bush right here on the left of me, actually, if you burn it, will open up, but it's a guy that's going to take your money. So do not burn any bushes in that room. We're going to come back up towards the first thing, and as you can see, oh, not paying attention, they're going to respawn. Enemies will last for a while without respawning. And as you can see, I still have the note until I buy a potion. Once I buy a potion, that's where the potion will go. And then when you use up your potion, it will just be a blank. So until you first purchase your potion, you'll still see the note, even though we've unlocked it. What we're going to do is we're going to load up the candle. We're going to go to this very top bush here. We're going to burn that guy. And that's going to open up another path. And once again, we have another secret. So we're going to grab that secret. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hook another quick right up. We're going to take these guys out. Hopefully this blue Octorok will give us a bomb. Sometimes he spawns a bomb, sometimes he doesn't. Not a big deal if he doesn't. We're going to get one eventually. Now we're going to come over to here. This bush right there. Oh, sorry, this bush, I'm sorry. On the right. Right there is another one. So we're going to grab that. Another 30. We're just racking in the money now. Alright, so we're going to scroll down. We're going to come back down. We're going to hook a left. Alright. 5th bush. Right here. It's okay if we get it. Oh, I think I missed. Oh, no, I got it. There we go. 5th bush. Now, we're going to be able to pick either a potion or a heart. We've unlocked potions, so we can buy potions if we need them. Never take the potion if offered a heart or a potion, because if you choose the potion, you lose the heart forever. And it's important you collect these hearts because we need the hearts to unlock the ability to get the white sword and the magic sword. Now, this game, the magic sword, is the name of really what I consider the master sword, but the master sword didn't even exist yet. They hadn't even thought of it. So it was called the magical sword. The master sword didn't even show up for a couple more games. Link to the Past is where you really started getting the master sword. That's when they kind of came up with the idea, and then the master sword is what carried on. But until then, it was called the magical sword. So we need, in order to get the white sword, you need 5 hearts. In order to get the magical sword, you need 12 hearts. So we're going to get you there pretty quick. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to burn this final bush right here. This is going to open up a shop. As you can see, in here, the shield is 90. Now, this is the only item you want to buy is the shield. This is the cheapest you can get, this magic shield. The magic shield is going to protect you from all the various things. Without the magic shield, you have the little shield. Certain boomerangs, the blue boomerang that is thrown at you, will not be stopped by the little shield. In the future parts of the game, the enemy that's a wizard, a wizrobe, their magic spell that they cast at you won't be blocked by the little, but the magical shield, it will. So we're going to grab the magic shield. So now we have a nice big shield. That's going to give us some good protection. One thing to know is that in other future dungeons, there are the likes. They look like an accordion almost. They will take your shield from you. So if you get grabbed by them, you'll lose your magical shield. Go back to that same place, buy it again for the 90. Make sure you have one. All right, we're going to burn this bush right here. And that's going to give us another secret. All right, so now we're up to 79. All right, we're going to kill these guys. We want to make sure we're grabbing all our rupees. All right, we're going to hook a left. We're going to come down here. So we're pretty much just going around right now collecting money because we're going to start unlocking things. Oh. Which is fine. Now, this right here, this opening, is going to give you the ability to get another potion. So if you wanted to buy one right now, again, don't buy one, but that's just another potion point. We're going to come up here. We're going to take out these guys right here. As you see, I was able to deflect his little orb. We're going to come up. We're going to take out all these guys. go up here. Now, the middle guy that you want to touch, the statues. Now, statues always touch at the top, and then as soon as they start glowing, start swinging, and then go in. This is where you can get the blue protection. This is the ring. That blue ring is going to give you half off of damage. So we're going to start saving up. We're going to start getting all of these, secret areas and money so that we can eventually come back and grab that. We should have it pretty soon. The meat we're going to need for a future dungeon as well, where you're going to be blocked without it. So as soon as we can get that, we're going to get that. We're not going to get it right now because I'm going to go around and get some more money. Actually, no, we'll grab it right now because it doesn't matter if we grab it now or in a little bit. We want to have that. So once we get that, you're going to go out and we're going to have, ourselves pretty prepared for a future dungeon. But this is the only place that you can get that ring, so make sure that you go there. All right, we're going to hook another left. And we're going to take a quick turn up here. And up here is a ferry. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the ferry. Now, ferries, what's interesting about them is with the ferries, excuse me, the reason that the ferries were put in the game is because the fantasy element of it, but also fairies in most adventure stories and stuff like that are actually kind of based on givers of life and joy and fun, but they're based in forests and around rivers and lakes. So Miyamoto really felt that that would bring a really great way of giving life, giving energy to somebody, something friendly and fun, something that in this world of forestry and all this danger, that there is something friendly. So he added that into the game because he felt that that was going to be, a really nice touch. So that's why, we see fairies, and now they're, as you know, in, all those other games. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to take a quick turn, and we're going to burn this bush. We're going to go in here. There's another secret. Alright, so we're going to grab that. Nice big one again. Then we're going to come back down. Now, with these blue moblins, what's great about these guys is they like to give bombs. And we need bombs right now. Oop. And we have the big shield, so we can block those arrows. As long as we block them. But we're going to go around and we want to kill a few of these blue guys because we need a bomb. Typically, you'll usually spawn one, but the game is very hit or miss with when you can actually get them. Now it's being stingy. Come here. We're going to go down here. We're going to go all the way to the bottom, but we're going to take out all the enemies. And I like to kill the enemies because, again, they give us resources that we need sometimes. And I'm not too worried about my life because what do we have at the top? A fairy. Wow, being stingy today. Alright, we're going to come down here. Burn him. So what we'll do is, because again, we cleared the room. So we cleared the area of the enemies. It takes about 4 shifts for the enemies to respawn. So you pretty much have to go 4 away from it to respawn. So as you can see, it's pretty safe travels, but now we're whole again. And we can hit them from a distance. Now with the magic sword, there's a bomb, there we go. And that's what we needed. With the magic sword, what's interesting is they introduced that, but if you look carefully, you'll see that it's actually flashing different colors. The code is actually just flashing the wooden sword and the white sword quickly between the two swords to create that effect. But if you time your presses correctly, about a second pause between, you'll always get the shot. If you tap it quick, you'll notice it doesn't recharge yet. So give it a little pause, just a second between, and you'll get that shot. There we go, we got another bomb. So perfect, we're gonna come over here with our bomb. Right, see that little crack in the wall? We're gonna put a bomb right there. Another secret. There we go. So now, like I said, the blue moblins are the best way to get it. Now we're in the Lost Woods. So now the Lost Woods is a thing that if you just kept going, you're gonna be forever trapped in here. You can't do it. So what you gotta do is you gotta take this path. You're gonna come in, you're gonna go up. And you're gonna go left. Now as you can see, these guys are gonna continue to be here until we kill them. Then we're gonna go down. And we're going to hook a left again. And that gets us out of the Lost Woods. Now we're going to come up and we're going to head towards the graveyard. Those guys, you don't want to mess with right now. So just let them go. In the graveyard, fun little fact is that's the master ghost, the head ghost. If you touch all of the gravestones and then kill that head ghost, all the other ghosts will die and then you can collect their goodies. But we're going to skip that right now. We're going to avoid all this because I got one heart. I'm a beeping. Which, that beeping indicator carried on to all the other Zelda games. It's a way of telling them that, oh, as you see, I took a hit. I shouldn't have went down. I should have stayed going right. So that's okay. So it's going to kick us back to the beginning. The great thing is we have the bombs now. So we're going to come back up that path eventually, but we're going to hook a right since we're down at the bottom. And we're going to keep going right. This is what's great about this game being open, concept instead of that, it's a non-linear path, is we can go whatever way we want. So we're going to go and we're going to get what we need to get the white sword. So we're going to keep going right, and we're going to bomb up here. We're going to bomb right there. Boom. One over from the side. We're going to go in, again, take the heart. Now we have 5 hearts. We can get the white sword. We haven't even gone to a dungeon yet. We can already upgrade our sword. But we're going to hook a right. We're going to go about 6. If you look at the tiling of the wall, you can see it's kind of broken into segments. We're going to go about 6 over and we're going to bomb. But let me kill these guys first because we want the money. We want the hearts. So we're going to go about 6 over, which is right there. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed again. There it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, 7 over. It's 6 over and then more. You're going to have this money-making game. It's a risk you can take if you want to possibly make good money. About 100 rupees. I do not recommend it. So anytime if you open up any of the areas with this, when you're first starting out the game, don't grab it. Wait until later in the game. If you need money and you're looking to buy some potions or some more bombs or arrows, take a chance if you want, but if not, don't do it. Alright? We're going to hook over here and we're going to do the same exact thing in the next screen. It's funny, is they kind of almost like duplicated the pain. But we're going to kill these guys first. And again, these blue Octoroks, they like to drop bombs on occasion, but it is random. Alright, so again, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, this guy, as you can see, and I only did this because I wanted to show you, there are many of these guys in the world. So you will get it if you burn bushes, if you blow up holes in the walls. So this is the only time you really want to, if you want to see this. But otherwise, try to avoid doing anything that's going to blow up, walls. As long as you get the hearts you need and the money you need, which we're going through, you don't have to go screen by screen blowing up everything burning everything. But I just wanted to show you that they threw in little things to mess with the player, because it's not always going to be a win when you get a secret. Sometimes it's not going to be a good thing. So they wanted to throw that little pitfall in. And this carried into other future games too, where they have these little, Easter eggs, little things that you find of, where it's like, oh, you did this, guess what, you're paying me, or, oh, you're going to owe me because of this. It's really, really cool writing that they did. So we're going to skip this guy and we're just going to go up. Now this right here is a shop. It's a great little shop if you need more bombs or arrows. Now, the max right now that we can carry for bombs is 8. Okay, so we don't need another one. But if you are in need of bombs, that's where you can go to get them. All right, but we're going to come over here. We're going to bring on our candle again. I'm going to freeze time. Gives you a little invulnerability. You can go around killing the guys real easily. We're going to come up. Now in this area, that single little lone bush, geez, that looks suspicious. This is actually the opening for World 8. See? Now, you could, in theory, actually play the level, but you need a few items. As you see, I hopped in, and it skipped me over to this side. See? Doesn't matter. But if you needed to go left, hop in, hop over. Now we're going to come in here. We're going to burn. Oh, wrong one. Thought it was in a different screen. It's actually over in this little octagon guy. Another shop. Another location you can get the shield. But as you can see, the meat's 100 here. So if you need another shield, this is where you can come to get one. But we're going to skip that for now. We're going to go up one screen. And there's where we came earlier. Okay? But what we need to do is we're going to hook a right. And we're going to touch this second statue. And again, push him out of the way. Come on in. And we're going to get another secret. Just a quick little $10, but hey, $10 is $10. You know? So let's get those rupees any way we can. Alright, so now, what we're going to do is we're going to go get that white sword. And on the way, we're going to make a couple little pit stops, and we're going to get a couple things now that we have the bombs. Give us some more money. So in this area, and if you had a bomb earlier from killing the blue Octorok, you can bomb here while you're going to get the note and the initial 100. We're going to go in here, and we're going to get another secret. Boom. Now we're going to come, we're going to take a left. And we're going to bomb right at the corner. Another heart. Again, always take the heart. We haven't even gone to the first dungeon. We already have a bunch of items and 6 hearts. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. If we go left, we were in that desert that we crossed initially. But what we want to do is we want to go up this right here. And then we want to hook a quick left. Now we're in the Lost Mountain. If we were to keep going down, like, oh, okay, I want to go down, it's just going to keep cycling. And it's never going to end. The only way to get out is you can go right. Oh, it keeps cycling. Nope, can't go right, can't go down. If I continue up multiple times, and I just hold on up. One more time. There's level 5 for your dungeon, level 5. But we're going to go left, and it's going to unlock a new area. And I just threw a bomb on accident instead of the sword. That's okay. Because again, we know where we can get bombs and how to get bombs from what characters and what shop. You can go into this waterfall if you want. It's going to give you a fortune teller. You can pay her and she's just going to give you tips. She's going to tell you where to find things, where to go. The more you pay, the better you get. You don't really need to if you don't want to, but it's up to you. If you're having a little trouble, you're kind of getting stuck, they threw a tip line into the game for folks in the waterfowl. But we're going to come up here. Now, this blue guy is tough. But the good thing is we have the big shield. If we did not have the big shield, his swords would hurt us. They would kill us. But now they can't. As long as you block him. If you can kill him, great. But now we're going to come in, we're going to grab this white sword. It now cuts the damage needed on enemies by half. So instead of taking 2 hits to some enemies, it only takes 1. It basically takes a hit off each enemy. That guy now only takes 3 instead of 4. Now, we can hook her right, but again, if we go right, oh, we're back in the Lost. So we don't want to do that. We're going to have to now go left, which is fine, because now we're heading in the direction we want to go, and we're going to head towards dungeon number 1. Doesn't matter if you get hit by the falling rocks. You can try to avoid them. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They're not going to do much damage. Now, when we come around this corner, we're going to bomb right there. And I accidentally went into the wrong screen, but that's fine. We're going to come up. It's another area for you to buy potions. They threw them all over the map because you're in between dungeons. And sometimes, you know, as the dungeons get more and more difficult, more and more complex, you're going to need, you're going to need a refresher. You're going to need some refreshments. But we're going to come down. Before we start going to this dungeon, I want to do one thing. I'm going to go all the way down towards the start. Oop, mistake. Where it turns rocky, we're going to go left. Kill these guys. Whoop. We're going to bomb right there. Another secret. So now we're at 228. We only need about 30 to get the blue ring. If you're this close in rupees, I would say, take out some enemies. Gather that money. Because it's going to be worth it. That blue ring is going to cut damage by half in anything you fight. And it doesn't take long to gather them. All you gotta do is go a few screens over on your way to getting the ring. And as you can see, you get some rupees from characters. You're also potentially going to get bombs. As you get arrows, eventually that kind of unlocks. You're going to refill your hearts. And what I like to do is do a little path through Moblin Village. And as you can see, sometimes you unlock a fairy. But look at how we're killing the Moblins now. One hit. Boom. It's not taking multiple hits to kill these guys and only 2 to kill these guys. So it's a lot easier now with that white sword. And again, I'm not too worried about getting hit in this area because we have, see, there's a refill of the bomb. We have our fairy right above us. Now I'm about, 13 more. All I need is a couple good 5-point. Oh, things are being stingy. Might have to go and just do some exploring. That's fine. That's the point of this game, is explore, explore, explore. But we're going to take any and all opportunity to make some money. These are fast little guys. Alright, everything's being stingy, so we're going to go down. We're going to go back into the Moblin area because those tend to give us some good money. And we're going to be close to a fairy. Once we get to 250, we get that ring. Honestly, you can take out a lot of dungeons with just this setup and clear them pretty quick because you have just about everything you need to get through a good first chunk of dungeons. More bombs. Alright, 9 more. It doesn't take long. A couple minutes of some, you know, just kind of moving around, getting some coins, getting some rupees, you're going to be good. And again, the bombs are going to be so useful in the dungeons, because you're going to need them. Oh, now while we're here in this area, guess what we got? Another secret. So we're going to do that. And there's the money we need. So we're going to grab that. Boom. It's a quick little 10. We got 250. Let's head over, let's get that blue ring, and we're going to be good to go. And you know, I'm feeling like doing a little bit more exploring, and as you see, we went out of the overworld into a new area, so it allowed for respawning of things. I'm going to go visit the fairy, say hi to her. So before we even go to the dungeon, I'm going to go get one more fun little thing that you can get. Way ahead of usually what was planned, I believe, for the game. They still, you know, had kind of a thought of a little bit of linearity to the way of playing, but they didn't take into account people would explore so much. Again, only place you can get this ring. And this is going to cut everything. Now, as you can see, we're green. We have the blue ring at the top. When we go out, boom, we're now blue. There is also a red ring that you'll get later in the game, towards the final dungeon, that's going to cut your damage by about 75%. So now we're really just kind of going through, and we're taking out everything. We've got protection, we've got bombs, we've got fire. We've got an upgraded sword, about 3 levels ahead of the game. So our enemies are going to be a little easier to beat. Just cutting around. Now this is going to bring us into the Lost Woods again. Now again, when you come in, if you go right, it takes you out. But we're going to come in, we're going to go up, we're going to hook left. I'm going to take these guys out because they're annoying. Get some bombs. We're going to go, you know, take that left, and we're going to go down, and then we're going to go left. And that's going to take us out of those Lost Woods. So up, left, down, left. And now we're in the graveyard. And just a little secret. The magic sword is in the graveyard. It's up above us. One more screen up. And we see where the ghost spawned. It's a little tip is sometimes the ghost spawns right next to the entrance to where the magical sword is. Unfortunately, we don't have enough hearts right now. You need 12. So when you try to grab it, you can't. But it doesn't take long to get 12 hearts now that we're, you know, so juiced up and ready to go with all our special things. So we're going to come over here. Now, we're going to try to avoid these guys because they still, even with our blue, can do some pretty good damage. We do have the white sword, so as you can see, we can take them out. But if you can avoid them, avoid them. We're going to bring up our bombs. We're going to bomb right there. Another potion. So, again, they put these all around Hyrule because you got so many dungeons in these areas. We're going to take this right stairway. See the 4 stones over there on the left? That's a warp point that we're about to get the item that's going to give us the ability to warp. So we're going to go to these set of statues. We're going to touch this guy. And there's the magic bracelet. This magic bracelet gives us the ability to move stones, to lift things heavier than what we used to be able to. So we're going to come back down. And we're going to go over to that 4 stones. We're going to go to this rock right here. We're going to go around the top of it. Right here, sorry. Left one. We're going to push it, and we're going to go in. Now, these roads that we can take are random. It's kind of funny. it just takes you to the random warp spots. So if you come in and you take the middle one, and then you come in and take the middle one, it's not going to always drop you off in the same place. But I tend to just stick with the middle. And this brought us near the beginning of the game. So it looks familiar. If you go to the left, you'll notice this is where we started. That tends to, for whatever reason, the very first time you use it, I've had pretty good success with it bringing me to that point. So I recommend picking the middle, and hopefully it'll bring you to the same spot, because what we're doing is heading towards dungeon number 1. We're going to take these guys out, which as you can see now are just a piece of cake. We have all that we need, and we're going to go over, hook this bridge, and here's dungeon number 1. We're going to take this guy out. Now, a little tip, when we go in, don't move. Let it sit in the doorway. You'll see there's a key, locked door. Go back out, then go back in. And now it's unlocked. Little tip, it's a little bug in the code for whatever reason. That door, and only that door, will unlock if you do just that. If you step into the dungeon, start going around, and you go out and come back in, it will stay locked. Sometimes you'll get lucky, but most times it'll stay locked. So what that does is that now frees up a key that we collect to use in other dungeons, because every dungeon, the keys carry over. Now these guys, if you didn't get that white sword, take multiple hits to kill. But as you can see, we went right through them like it was nothing. One hit, easy. That key we would have used on that door. We don't need to now. Now we're going to come in here, we're going to take out these bats, and we get another key. So now we're just pocketing keys. Now what I like to do is, while I'm in dungeons, is I like to either have my candle on, or something other than a potion or bombs, because they're valuable resources you don't want to accidentally waste when you're in dungeons. And you'll see why in a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and start collecting things. We're going to come in and we're just kind of, as you can see with this sword, it makes light work of these guys and makes it so you don't have to sit there and fight. Oh, another key. We're going to hook her right. We're going to get ourselves the compass. Now, I like to kill all the enemies, even though the door is open. I like to kill all the enemies. Now, this level, again, with all the dungeons, you're going to get a map and a compass. Every one of these levels is designed to kind of be a theme. So you have your eagle, you have your dragon, you have your serpent is another one. So they're really cool ways of doing things by designing it. But what they did is every dungeon fit together like a puzzle, like I said earlier, which was really cool because it allowed for, you know, saving of space. And that was partially by design, but also they wanted every dungeon to be unique. They didn't all want them to be the exact same, so they needed to create some kind of complex maze-like structure, again, influenced by Miyamoto's home and the way his house was a maze. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to take out these little chocolate Hershey Kisses. The little drops. Now if you push this, it will open that door. In the left is going to be a little fortune teller. Guy is going to give you a tip. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. We know this already because we already went there and got that 100 right at the beginning of the game. So we're kind of ahead of you, guy. Now, also, fun little fact, if I come up and I hit this guy with a sword, he's going to start firing fireballs at me. So don't hit the guy unless you want to get beat up with fireballs. Now we're going to go in and we're going to take our right. And we're going to come in here. And there's our map. We'll take out these chocolate, you know, the little Hershey Kisses again. And as you see, I got hit, but it didn't damage me until I get multiple hits. See, if I take a hit, it only takes half, whereas before it would take a whole. We're going to grab the map. Now, if we go right, we're going to head towards the boss. We don't want to go right yet. We want to go up. Because we need the item that's hidden in this dungeon. It's going to help us in the future, and it's actually going to be a required item that we're going to need in order to beat the game. So we got to make sure that we go up and we go in. We're searching all of these dungeons for each of these items. So we're going to take out these guys, these Gorios. You think they're moblins, but they're not. They're called Goryo's. So we're going to go and we're going to take these out. We're going to go here. Now, as you see, we have 2 keys stored. Now, when you walk into this room, don't move from the doorway because these spikes can get you. But what you can do is, as you see, you can move, stay in the doorway, and then come through. What you want to do is you want to kind of trick them to trying to hit you, then go. We're going to come over here, and we're going to push this rock down, and we're going to go on in. Alright, and then there's the item. We need this bow. The bow is part of the way we beat the game. Without this item, it's going to be very difficult to beat other bosses, but to beat Ganon himself. So we're going to go, and we're going to skip all that, and we're going to come on up. And again, watch out for the guy. Little spikes. Come over, give him a little, and then we go. So now we have the item. Now, if you had money, and you had previously gotten or purchased arrows, they come in very handy for this boss of this level. But we don't have those. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it a different way. There's multiple ways to beat this first boss. We're going to kill these Goryo's, we're going to get some bombs, and when we take these guys out, we're going to get the wooden boomerang. What I like to do is I like to change over to the boomerang once I get it. Now this boomerang, not so great. It only goes about 4 or 5 squares. A little weak. We come over here. Now you have the little claws. These guys, if they grab you, are going to bring you back to the beginning of the world. Don't let them touch you. Grab that key, come up. As you can hear, the boss is there. If you stay in this middle part, you're safe from the edges, so you don't have to worry about the hand. But as you can see, when you get near the edges, they're going to try to grab you. You can kill them if you want, but whatever. We're going to go in here. We still have 1 key on hand, and here's our boss. Now, if you stand on this set of blocks, no matter how many times he fires, he's not going to touch you. But, as you notice, if you stand on this line, same thing. Now, that lines us up for his head. If you have a bow and arrow, you can fire arrows. 3 shots from the bow and arrow, he's dead. If you have bombs, and this is why I said save those bombs, if you let him fire, come up to about here, let him fire again, drop a bomb, and then drop 1 more bomb, 2 bombs, he's dead. Boom. Now we got that heart piece, our heart container. We're up to 7 hearts, and we have the very first piece of the Triforce of Wisdom. So now we have completed dungeon number 1. Now our hearts are filled, we've gotten more, and now we can head to dungeon number 2. Dungeon number 2 is super easy as well. It's kind of fun. What we're going to do is we're going to come down here. We're going to hook a right. We're going to go up. Now while we're in this screen, we'll take out these guys real quick. Just because you don't want them being in the way. And we want those rupees. Now this rock, if you push on it, opens up another warp zone. So if you need to warp around and you're in the area, that's how you can get it. But we're going to come up here, and I'm just going to show you there's another fairy. So if you need it, as you can see, we don't need it. They're going to try to fill it. But hey, just saying hi. We're going to come down, we're going to hook a right. Here's another great little shop. Freeze all the guys in place. We can go in here. As you can see, bombs 20, arrows 80. If you have enough, get some arrows. If you're below 8 bombs, we still have some time where we're going to be going past some moblins. So you don't really need to buy them. But if you're very low and you don't have at least 5 to 6 bombs, pick up some bombs. You're going to need them in the next dungeon. So you want to be full with bombs, or at least 6 to 8 bombs before going into the dungeon. Now we're going to take out all these guys right here real quick. And then while we're here, we're going to bring on not our meat, unless you're hungry. No, we're going to bring on our torch. And we're going to fire at this bush right here. So what I like to do is kind of position myself so that it gets it. that's another spot for you to get potions. It's easier to fire from this side and get it than on the other side. For whatever reason, it doesn't always hit it. It will actually pass through it, and that counts. So just do it on that side. Now if we come down here, I believe it was this one, is another secret. It's a quick little 10. Again, money is money. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and take out these guys. Again, we want to take out the blue guys because they do like to drop bombs on occasion. And if you're low on bombs, you can fill up. We're going to take this top path. The lower path is just a circle around. But we want this path. Hey, there's some bombs. Now we're at 8. We're full. We're ready to rock. We're going to take a quick right. We're going to change over to our boomerang so that we don't waste any of our bombs or anything like that. We're going to come up. Wow, they spawned in right as I was about to go through. That's okay. Quite alright. As you can see, you don't take as much damage now because you're blue. More bombs. Blue guys, blue Octoroks like to drop bombs, and that would come up. Dungeon 2. We're going to go in. The first thing you're going to want to do is hook a right. Now this is the moon dungeon, shaped like a crescent moon. These little snake guys will charge at you if you're lined up with them on the squares. They don't do much damage, especially if you're blue. Just more of an inconvenience than anything. Kind of annoying, but it gets you a key. Now we're going to go up. We're going to take out this guy. Come down here. Take out that one. Take out that one. Get some. We're going to come through this locked door. And this is where the fun is. And this is where you get the compass. Take out the little Hershey Kisses. And grab that compass. Now, we're going to kick over to our bombs. We're going to bomb that wall and then, boom, go through it. Here's the map. We're going to save our key. And you can see it now, it's the crescent moon. Take out all these guys, collect some things, but guess what? We're going to bomb again. We're going to go up. Now we're in a room with the blue gyros. Goirios. Very hard to pronounce. We avoid as best you can with the fireballs, and now we collect the magical boomerang. So now our boomerang is blue instead of the wooden boomerang. This boomerang goes the length of the room. Also more powerful, can take things out easily, like bats and stuff. A lot more flexibility. Guess what? We're bombing again. We're going to come up. Oh, and they refill our bombs. Kill all the bats, and guess what? We're bombing again. We're going up. We're skipping all the rooms that need keys, just with that little wall, bomb spot. So we're keeping keys. We're not worried about collecting keys. We have the one in the bank. He's going to give us some rupees. We're going to go up through this door. We're going to get a little message from this guy. Dodongo dislikes smoke. Dodongo is the boss. Little tip. Guess what? Bomb. We're going to come in here and we're going to take these guys out. Now, if you don't have the magical shield, you cannot block with the little shield the blue boomerang, the magical boomerang. But because we have the big shield, we're protected from those boomerangs. So, we kill these guys, they're going to give us more bombs. They're going to refill us to 8. And now, we're at the boss. So what we can do, drop a bomb in front of his mouth, he eats the bomb. If you get him close to it, and he touches the smoke, he freezes. Freezes about 7 to 8 seconds. Can't do anything if that happens. You want the bomb to go in his mouth. 2 bombs, he flashes, boom, he's dead. Second boss down. Now we come over, and we collect our piece of the Triforce. Quick, easy level. Having the blue ring, as well as the white sword, and the large shield, make that level a breeze. having those bombs, you don't have to worry about it, looking for keys or fighting excess enemies, and you're done. So, with that, we're going to pause the game here and leave it for the next adventure. So, next time we stream, we'll continue on with our dungeons. We've collected all the various hearts that we can for now, until we go a couple more dungeons in, literally 2 more, and then we get the final hearts in the overworld. And by defeating those 2 dungeons, we'll have 12 hearts, which means we get the magical sword 4 dungeons in. A lot faster than the rest of the game, if you were to try to play through the whole game. So, thank you for joining us today, and, I appreciate you watching the stream. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little bit about the game and how it came to be and all its fun things. And I hope this helped you be able to adventure as well and maximize your abilities to go through this game, experience it, and see all of it. Hope to see you again, and thanks for watching.